Hello and welcome back to my second Let's Play Metroid Prime video. This is a walkthrough of the game. So when we last left off we managed to get the missiles, which is a very important upgrade because it allows you to break down blast stores so we can get to the next upgrade. So the first upgrade that we're going to get for Samus here is, well, what I like to refer to as Metroid's other M, the Morph Ball. So let's go and take a look and see if we can get that at this point. So what we want to do to start off is come out of the save station and come along this way. We're heading back to the main plaza. So shoot the eyes, get through past all the eyes, and as quickly as possible just come back along the corridor, shoot these wee critters, and come to the main plaza again. So don't bother with all the enemies, just ignore them because this boss is not particularly hard. So we're heading now to the ruined shrine. You might want to scan the missile door right now, because they can be scanned, so that's good. Just shoot all these wee critters here. Now, when we get to this next room up here, I want you to, well, you can maybe just notice that there's a purple door up at the top. Just up above. That is called a purple door, a wave beam door. So we'll come to that one day, a long time in the future of this guide. We will cover the wave beams and we'll have to come back this way. But I can tell you there's some big secrets around there. So just defeat all of these beetles and keep firing, use your missiles if you want, it speeds up, and to be honest you don't need the missiles for the main event of this, so it doesn't really matter. This is the main event. This is a much larger version. You don't need to scan it because they do come back, in fact they become a frequent normal enemy. Right now it looks like it's a terribly evil boss, but it ends up just appearing later, so, but I scanned it just now anyway. As I say, you don't need to. Don't just walk into it like I just do, but use your strafe ability to round it and avoid it. Missiles don't work, something I should have maybe shown you earlier, but I told you earlier, sorry. They certainly don't work. So while I keep trying these, there's no real point to doing it. Just blast, 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 okay? That way we can get through this faster and more efficiently without wasting missiles. It doesn't take a lot to defeat this, but it does take concentration. You have to be careful because if you lose concentration, it won't ram you because you're moving or whatever. You have to stay completely still. And I often do lose concentration and do start to move, so this should be its last couple of hits. There you go. Now, we've got the other M revealed here, the Metroid's Morph Ball. So, Morph Ball is a really useful wee tool because it allows you to go into a ball and you can zoom around in it. It means you can get into smaller areas and slide underneath them and things like that. There are some upgrades for the Morph Ball, in particular bombs, which we're going to come to pretty soon. But for just now, our next aim is to try and get ourselves the charge beam. So the charge beam allows you to charge up your power beam just as we did back in the frigate. So now that we've got the Morph Ball, we can proceed to find the charge beam by going up and around up until you come to the point where previously there was, well, there still is a bit that you've got to use the Morph Ball to get under, so that's what we're going to do. It's just up here, so kill off all the flies and then go forward. Just get through. I just kill a few of the flies and then I leave. I can't be bothered killing them because they keep on coming, so So here we go, and now we find these annoying little leech things. And these are the things that I was talking about, frigates that also are quite similar. Just kill a few of them, get a bit of health and missiles, and proceed to the next bit where we're going to find the charge beam. This is the ruined fountain, so don't do what I did here, and don't jump in, just go round. You don't have to kill these creatures because they only attack you when they see light. But you will want to come across here and get across. Now, don't bother scanning these right now because there's a later time to scan these and it makes it much easier. Blast this door. And here we are into the, well, one of the main rooms of the Chozo Ruins. Another of these big main rooms. So you're wanting to go left, to jump over there. Be prepared to get over here and over there. Try to avoid the poisonous waters. You don't want to jump down there either because that was a bad move. Altogether, you're wanting to go up here again. Up this way. And jump over. Nope, not going to work. So what we're going to want to do is actually go up higher to jump over. It's terrible because I've just completed this game on hard. And you have the double jump later, like we had at the start in the frigate. And without it, you're just not used to not having it. So it's kind of weird not having it. I tend to think I can just jump across things as I would with the double jump, but in most cases it doesn't tend to be the actual case. So here we arrive in one of the other large rooms of the Chozo Ruins, that leads off to several different rooms. So we want to go to this is a save station up here. And we'll use the save station, get healed up, and we'll come back to this save station from time to time. So, what I was saying earlier about being able to scan these creatures, well, we can do it on the way back to that save station, for instance, where they're not going to move. Don't worry about the mushrooms, they do next to no damage anyway. That's not the best thing to say, my viewers, but you don't really need to, so... Okay, so this next section of the Chozo Ruins that we're coming to has the charge beam in it. So we'll just proceed over. Now if you look behind yourself, just here, on the wall, is a symbol, a runic symbol. So we activate that runic symbol, and that will allow us to very quickly proceed through with this and get to the end of this sort of section of it. So there are 4 to be activated. I'm not going to bother showing you by going up and saying that, look, here you go, you've got to find them. I'm just going to show you that you have to find them, and this is where you find them. So here's another one. And proceed over back the way. Shoot the vines to stop them from attacking you. You can actually kill them with the 4th and final beam. Final runic symbol is here. Now to open it, all you need to do is activate the final runic beacon. The gate has been unlocked. There you go, you're through to get the charge beam. That's another upgrade for you. Get the Chozo lore while you're here. So that's you got the power beam charge now, so you can do a lot more damage in a single charge beam than you can with individual beams. But it does depend on what you're firing at, so the single beam's still quite useful. So if you blast these eye things with the charge beam, they actually disappear. just give them a blast, and there you go, and the last one, and let's get out of here. So proceed through, avoiding poisonous waters, and avoiding the arm things that come out. And there you go. Now we've got the charge beam. So our next objective for this section of the video is to get to a save station. We want to save as soon as possible, so we'll just use the usual save station out here. Or the new save station anyway, and we'll call this the usual save station because it is quite a useful save station. And I'm sure we'll have to come back to it again. Okay, once you've saved, etc., you'll want to come out and you'll want to start looking for our next objective, which is the Morph Ball Bomb. So if we destroy all these mushrooms, this clears us a path to jump. Blast these. Now if you just charge the charge beam, give them a nice blast, they'll all disappear. Apart from that last one. So blast them all and jump up here and up here. Jump up to get them and blast them with a charge beam. Be prepared for these freaks. They sometimes push you down a level like that, or they can push you all the way off, so be careful. Let's go back up again. Back up again. And go round. More of the freaks again, the spinning things. Now if you hold A, that will charge up your beam. You can suck towards you health, missiles, any kind of expansions, or sorry, of resources. They can be sucked towards you, so that's quite a useful thing to have. Now where are we heading right now? Well, we're heading towards this blue on the map, because the blue always represents a room you've never been to, but you know is there. So at this point what we're doing is, it's very dark here, so it's very difficult to see. But what we want to do is we want to find a morph ball hole around here. There it is. And go down towards the next area, which is the hive sort of zone. It's a big creature that, well, mechanical device that you've got to defeat, and it'll burn the flies up. So here it is, and make sure you do scan this device because it never appears again. It's a sort of mini boss. So what it does is it circulates and tries to burn you, and the flies above it will come out when you burn the nest up above, when you put it so many times up on the top here. Now it's going to turn up and it's going to burn the flies. So they're going to get annoyed with that, so scan the flies. There you go, you scan the first. That's all. Now it will activate in a second. So get ready. Try not to get burnt as much as I did in this video. Blast it again. There you go. If I remember correctly, this has 4 hits in total for the nest of anyway. So right, if you jump that one, you can jump that flame fire. So if you jump over that. There you go, burn the flies again. So as much as it's very repetitive, it's very easy as well. So just burn it hit it one last time to make the flies burn one more time. And now it blasts it one last time, shows you a wee cinematic. It dies, and then the machine blows up. And there you go, there's the morph ball bomb. So the next thing is to find a wee secret in this room that will get us our first missile expansion. So if you go over here, place a bomb, go underneath, and there you go. Use a bomb to get it, or go back into normal Samus. And there you go. Your first missile expansion. We'll come across a few of these throughout the game. I'm only trying to get an adequate number. I'm not trying to get them all in this guide, so we'll find a few that are needed and that are quite easy to get. Sometimes these doors don't seem to open, so if they don't, it's not because the game's broken or anything, it's just simply because it takes a long time to load. Now avoid the poisonous waters and get out of this room. Now you notice there's a slight morph ball down here. All you're going to need to do is put a bomb and go under. That way you avoid the eyes altogether. Just shoot these when you're going past. As I say, there's a time later when we can capture. And here's that time now. So if you just scan them now, that saves you the bother of doing it later. And I would recommend that you get healed just now, because the next part we're going to go to is actually the boss of the Chozo Ruins. It may seem a bit early to be coming to a boss, but to be honest, we've got quite a lot of items, we're quite well equipped, and we've got the one energy tank that I would say is necessary and normal. So in this room, you can actually climb up the tree a bit further, and that's what we're going to do. So avoid the poisonous waters by going around, and just go up. Now there should be flies any second now that start up here, which are the signature of the Chozo Ruins, to be honest, annoyingly. But first, before we do that, we've got to activate some of the ruin totems down here rather than going all the way up and activating them up there. So there are none down here, but there are some down at the bottom. So I'm just going to have a little look around for them. I know there's one behind red flowers. There's also this one here on the tree, so that's easy to get. But look out for the red flowers. If you find them, then you should be able to find another runic totem. What I do is I normally just go up a bit higher and have a look, and that's exactly what I've decided to do here. The only problem with way up higher here is that you have those flies to deal with. And there we are. The flowers. This is what we need to get to. So shoot them down before you get there. Otherwise they'll damage you. And then leave. And then we'll climb back up again. So this time we're climbing up to the very top. There's one more runic totem on the way, and then just as with the charge beam, the last one's actually at the very top. And be careful with the morph ball because sometimes it slides around a wee bit. Later in the game I struggle a bit with the morph ball because it's so slippy, you know, so be careful with it. If the flies hit you too hard anyway, they will push you off, so try to avoid that. Now if you need health or whatever, just use the charge beam to suck the health towards you, rather than going over to pick it up, like in the olden days. Let's go up here. Last totem, or tome, or whatever it is, symbol. Has been activated, and now this door opens to reveal where the boss is. This is the sun room, And as you see, there's a bit of sandstone. So blow the sandstone. Missiles. Open the door. And proceed through. Careful of this red creature, this red plant that lives here. Because it can be very dangerous. As can these. You see the health going down because of the plants. It can be really bad sometimes. So heal up just before you go in, or missile up anyway. And you can use missiles with this boss, which we're going to come to in a minute. But I try not to. So this is a big flower-like thing, a big plant-like thing that's poisoning the whole Chozo Ruins. It's funny. This reminds me sort of Majora's Mask because of the poison. The boss is the source of the poison. Once the boss dies, it would fall in the same way. Then the poison goes away. It's kind of the same. So go in, lay a bomb, and it burns up. But things get harder now, because now there are 2 solar panels. Or mirrors. So 1, 2. You'll be prepared to have to go all the way around to get to the other one. The technique is to hit Flaahgra, because then fortunately it struggles and it has to like break. Now use your B button here. And that will help you to get around faster. Flaahgra. Once again. Down it comes. Now, be careful of those roots because they do actually attack when Flaahgra's fallen. So it's not like he's controlling them or it's controlling them anyway. One, two, 3. Now get 3 solar panels. Sometimes he's quite accurate with his attacks. Most of the time he's not. Just keep going round and round and round and round, and then hit the solar panels. And then once you've got all the way round, 3rd solar panel, he probably will turn and do the first one again. But not this time. So now go for the closest route tunnel and go into morph ball mode. And drop a bomb, and there you go. Burns up again. Now to bring him back to life again, it's his 4th turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 4 solar panels this time. So things are much more difficult. So you really do need to attack him and make a distraction to slow him down anyway. Now what I normally do is I just use the first solar panel for nothing but distraction. See? Now that gives you a chance to get all the way around and then hit the solar panels individually. Look, now he's just getting back to normal and okay, he's gone. So now you just need to go in and drop one more bomb. In you go, and one more bomb, and there you go. That's him finished. So that's it. Well done. You defeat the first boss in Metroid Prime. And it's an epic boss as well, if you ask me. Quite like Flaahgra. So the reward for this boss is quite nice. First of all, the poison water disappears, so brilliant. There you go. And second of all, probably more important of course, is the Varia Suit is there. So that's your second, or your new suit anyway. This was the suit you were wearing at the start. This is actually Samus's sort of trademark suit that she tends to wear in games like Super Smash Bros. And things. So what this does is it adds a big part onto the front, and that simply means you're heat resistant. Yeah, I think it also bulks up the arms. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, she looks much better like that. So that's quite an important improvement because that adds heat resistance to your suit. So that means that we can go down to this, the next place, which is the Magmoor Caverns. So without spoiling too much, the Magmoor Caverns is basically, to me, I would say it's more of just a tunnel that gets you from place to place, although eventually you are going to need to come there for something very important. So proceed through, and this is your first bomb you in the game, so don't charge your beam up, otherwise it sucks it towards you. You might as well scan this now. Or pulse bomb you anyway. And keep going, and now we're into one of the rooms. It's very important later because it gets us a very important upgrade. I think that will probably be part 6. Just scan the Chozo lore and leave. So this elevator here is the elevator down to the Magmoor Caverns, which is the way we're going. And that's a very quick shortcut to get here. It's just going through that way. And that leads to one of the earlier rooms that we were in. So I'm just going to show you where it is. It takes you to the place where the first sort of boss thing was. If I go through here, you'll see we've got the energy tank through back at the start through here. Or we're to get the energy tank here. But it's back at the start, you'll see. This is a shortcut back to the main plaza, and it makes life much easier in the future if you want to get back to the main plaza from the Magmoor Caverns, which you will need to eventually. Pick up the energy tank and don't fall down, because this door doesn't open from this side and it's probably not possible to even get up here. So be careful. That's a very difficult challenge. You've got to do a double bomb jump, and I'm not going to do that in this video because it's very difficult, although I found a way of getting around that by just jumping into the bomb slot. So we'll come to that later. Now sometimes you can't see, so I just blast the place with my charge beam, and that allows you to see quite easily because it is quite a dark game. So scan the elevator and head down. As with a few of the bosses, there's always a save station in the Magmoor Caverns after them. The next boss is exactly the same. There's a Magmoor Caverns save station straight after it. So that's the closest save station again. So, welcome to the Magmoor Caverns. We're still kind of in the Chozo Ruins part of the Magmoor Caverns, so just drop down, don't bother. Go down the elevators. And careful of these spinners again. And the heat often builds up on your visor, so going into these streams of heat, that's what it does, it's condensation on your visor. So avoid them when you can. Now save, and that's the end of part 2.